Hi, here we are. Tonight we're reading another Thomas book, and we're reading Spills and Thrills. And this is a Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends book based on the Railway series by Reverend W. Awdry. Spills and Thrills. One night, James was telling scary stories in Tidmouth sheds. The ghost train rattled over the bridge, waking everyone with its spooky whistle. Ooh. Percy thought the stories were very scary. He often pulled the mail train at night when things sometimes look scarier than they really are. Percy doesn't like your stories, James, Thomas peeped. It's not my fault Percy's not as brave as I am, James replied. Henry spoke up. If you're really not afraid, then prove it by pulling the flying kipper for me tonight. Okay, Henry, I shall, James huffed. Better you than me, delivering all that fish, Thomas said with a laugh. Oops, almost forgot to show you the pictures. I hope this doesn't get too scary. James made his way to Brendam Docks to collect the flying kipper and its load of fresh fish. But as he got closer, he noticed a funny smell. He quickly changed his mind and returned to the sheds to wake Henry. But I thought you were delivering the fish tonight, said Henry. You must have been dreaming, James said slyly. Henry hurried to the docks to get the flying kipper. Henry was late with every delivery. Back at the sheds, Sir Topham asked him what had happened. Sorry, sir, Henry replied. I must have overslept. I dreamed that James said he'd pull the flying kipper for me. That wasn't a dream, Henry, peeped Thomas. I heard James say that. The other engines agreed that they'd heard the same thing. Sir Topham turned to James. Is that true? Are you the one who caused confusion and delay? James explained that he'd changed his mind about delivering the fish because they were so smelly. But you told Henry you would take that train, Sir Topham said. Sir Topham told James that he would have to pull the flying kipper that night to make up for his broken promise, and I expect the fish to be delivered on time. When James arrived at the docks, Cranky was loading the troublesome trucks with fish. James didn't want to get any fish on himself. The trucks laughed. James is scared of the smelly fish. I am not, James huffed. He bashed the trucks to make them behave. Can you see these pictures? Kind of dark, but it's nighttime. James is scared of the smelly fish, the trucks repeated. As James got ready to bash them again, he backed into Cranky's hook. The fish Cranky was unloading spilled in a heap on James. Oh, no. Baldwin rolled up. You're supposed to take the fish in the trucks, not carry them by yourself, he said, smiling. Now James was grumpier than ever. The smelly fish grew even stronger. The fishy smell grew even stronger as James rushed around the countryside making deliveries. He couldn't wait to get clean again. What's that smell? Emily asked when James returned to the sheds. That's the smell of James, Thomas said, laughing. I had a little accident with some fish crates, James explained, and there was still a fish stuck on his chassis. Sir Topham Hatt was pleased that James had delivered the fish on time. "You are a really useful engine," he said, "but you are also a really smelly engine," he told James to go to the washdown. "Yes, sir," peeped James. He even smiled. That's the end of today's book, and tomorrow we will read no more Mr. Nice Engine. So I hope you enjoyed this week of Thomas the Train books. Let's say our bedtime prayer. "Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Guide me gently through the night, and wake me with the morning light. Amen." I hope you sleep well, and I'll see you tomorrow.